Yes, sir. What's going on, y'all,
I
man?
can
Welcome back
lie
to
with
another
y'all, boy.
episode of the First and Foremost podcast, man. I am one of your three co-hosts here, along with the Network, along with Inside the Hashes, man. Appreciate y'all tuning into another episode, man. We got a lot in store. We're going to talk about our road trip to Nashville, Tennessee. We was at Brentwood Academy, seeing some of the top prospects here in the country. So we'll talk about that. And we have a special guest on. We'll introduce him in a little bit. But down south, man, one of the top Alabama names, man, in the recruiting world, plugged in with a lot of players and stuff like that. But how y'all boys feeling tonight?
We good, man. We good. From a long road trip, but I'm back right, man.
Yeah. A good. I would say 8 hours. A little bit 8 hours. My boy Bacon relieved me a little bit, but I'll say 7 hours driving in one full day. Kind of got your boy kind of drained right now, but hey, man, I'm back on for my boys, so I'm excited to get on here. I'm excited to talk some football, talk some basketball, talk to our special guest.
He's talking basketball today, y'all hear? He's talking basketball today.
No doubt about it, man. So, yeah, we'll get right into it, man. Go ahead and go with the first and foremost. I throw it to you, Bacon, man. What's your first and foremost on this Tuesday night?
First and foremost on the Tuesday night, it wasn't a surprise, Got to throw it back to the draft last night. Caitlin Clark went No. 1 overall. That's a shout to her, shout to Angel Reese, and shout to Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso. They're going to Chicago, going to the skies. That's probably my first and foremost. I did not expect that, with the history they had, to be on the same team. So shout out to the sky, first and foremost.
For you, Jerome?
First and foremost, let's talk about draft. NFL draft next week, man. I'm excited. Love this part of the season, man. It's feel like Christmas in April. We're in April, right? Yeah, Christmas in April. Love this part of the year. You get to see different teams shape the future of their teams with these picks and these future Hall of Famers, and see how everything shakes out. And the best part about all this is, like, you never know how everything's gonna go. We have tons of mock drafts and mock this and mock that, and this player is gonna be here, this player's gonna be here, and this player's guaranteed here, and nothing's guaranteed. Never I knew that the Texans was gonna have trade back into the first round and get two top players, and both of them be the rookies of the year on the same team. So you never know how everything's gonna shake out. You had Puka Nacua from the 5th round that was about to have rookie of the year. So you never know how everything's gonna shape up, man. So I think that's the most exciting thing about this time of the year and the draft and stuff like that, and see how everything kind of plays out after the dust settles, man. I love it.
No doubt. My first and foremost has to start with Colorado. The mass exodus, 12-plus players leaving out, notably being Carmody McClain, 5-star prospect coming out of high school. I thought that tandem with him and Travis was going to be special, but apparently, it did not work out. He got 4 years of eligibility. Probably going to come back home to a Florida school, Miami or Florida, maybe Florida State. So I thought that was interesting. I would say don't sleep on Florida State. I think he complements that team well, along with head coach Mike Norvell. It seems like a nice fit potentially. But yeah, that's my first and foremost, just the transfer portal kids exiting out and trying to find new programs.
Over Chris Tobal, though, over to Miami. That's where he's committed to first, right?
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I just feel like Florida State would be more of a fit, but we'll find out. You're probably right though. It probably won't be Miami, but I think Florida State got an outsider's chance.
For sure. We still believe in you, Coach Prime. Go Buffs. Yes, sir.
Yep. No doubt. Well, I think that's going to conclude our first and foremost. So I'm going to throw Jerome to go ahead and welcome and bring on our guest.
All right, let's welcome our guest, man. A big down south guy, says it in his name, able to help some of these kids out and give exposure to a lot. And a big football guy, as Inside the Hatches, who our company is based on straight football. He does the same thing. I got to look at some of his stuff, doing some great downings for the South down here. So I'm gonna welcome Mr. Down South himself. How you doing?
How y'all doing? Oh, nah.
What's going on, brother?
What's going on?
We got that leather interior in there. AC probably blasted.
I appreciate y'all for having me on, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Yeah, we appreciate you coming on, man. I know you be busy, man, but definitely wanted to bring you on. Man, just talk a little bit about, man, your company organization, man. What you do out for these kids at Bama, man, and just what's kind of your mission, man, and what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, man. First off, appreciate you guys for having us on, man. I'm one of 3 owners of On Point Media Group. I also own 09 Sports. We cover Alabama high school athletics. We try to cover the South. We're getting around to expanding into the Southeastern Conference and trying to cover Georgia, Mississippi, and surrounding areas also. But right now, we just try to give as much exposure to the kids as possible. Kind of just leading them along the way. This internet, the new age is kind of hard to kind of travel through your journey by yourself. And if a parent kind of can help their kid a little bit, and if we can help them with that process, I think it makes the state look better as a whole. So that's what we kind of been doing, is just trying to make sure all the kids tighten up their Twitter. Yes sir, no sir. Don't wear sandals to school. It sounds very small and tedious, but those little small things can be the difference in, a kid getting the offer or not getting the offer, or a kid getting the PWO and not even getting the PWO. So small things like that.
No doubt. And then just tell us a little bit about just kind of your background, kind of, what made you guys you and your other 2 partners kind of form this media group, man, and try to affect this change. Kind of, where did the idea, where did everything kind of start from?
It started from Twitter, man. That's the crazy, or the place X, formerly known as Twitter. Shout out to Elon. It started on Twitter. Hall Tech Sports, great guy. I met him on there. He used to work for Prep Red Zone, SEC Mixtapes, Bonzo. He was on Twitter also, and we kind of just started doing these Twitter spaces. And from there, we was like, man, we all help kids, and we all have the same goal in kind. So we kind of just combined and started that. My granddad played at Alabama. He played for the Bears. So like, we got cousins that I was always raised in the South, in the football community. And from there, we just kind of combined the likes. And now we have more people that we bringing on from all over the state, Mobile, Montgomery, the Wiregrass area. And so we kind of just combined it to be able to try to get everyone spotlight that we can across the board, because we do feel like we're a top 5 state. And along with that comes just kids' talent being everywhere in small towns that I've never heard of, because I'm from Mobile. So some of these towns I've never heard of. And it's good to have people that's around the state that kind of can direct you the right way.
No doubt. Now, I talked to an Alabama player, it was about a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago, right? And he was telling me, he said it's different, like very different states, like some of the top ones, like especially like Georgia, right? For an example, right. He's like, they start giving the kids exposure 7th, 8th grade. It was like in Bama, it's like, 11th grade, 12th grade, and things like that. Why do you think it's, the parents or just like the media outlets, I should say, take so long to get their kids out there or be able to put them on that platform when, like you said, it's a top 5 state when it comes to talent? That there's no denying that, but I think it just lacks in exposure. Why do you think that is, and more not pumping out their kids earlier?
Yeah, the lack of exposure is kind of due to the media. And we're trying to bridge that gap. We are considered new age media, and it is legacy media inside of the state also. We're trying to bridge that gap and work together. But also it's just a matter of the coaches, the networking, everyone kind of working together. We're trying to be cohesive with everyone and be able to work together with everyone. It's been a problem, and we're getting better at it. We still y'all know how it is sometimes. We can be very hateful at times, but we're trying to all come together. And that's one thing I love about Georgia. We use Georgia as an example sometimes, just because Georgia has Georgia back. When you I went to the Under Armour event, all Georgia coaches, high school coaches, and all these other people, they have each other's back. And if we can put on that forefront here in Alabama. I think it'd be better where it's not, oh, Birmingham here, Mobile here, Montgomery is here. It's no, we're still Alabama. We need to form like Voltron, get these babies exposure, get them to the next level. Because if they go to the next level, and even if they don't go to the NFL, they come back, they're productive citizens. You know, they're paying higher taxes. They're bringing forth more to our state. So that's kind of where we're looking at it at.
Got you. Last one I throw at the bacon. For you, what, obviously I don't want to, disregard the small ones. We'll talk about obviously small areas and things like that where the kids is loaded at. But what are some talent-rich areas? Let's say for me personally, like obviously I'm from Metro Atlanta, but I've been out to Bama a few times. I know where you said Birmingham is real good. Obviously the Hoover area, Mobile is really good. But what are some places out there that are very talent-rich that we should keep an eye on if we want to come in that state and kind of cover Alabama a little bit?
Yeah, I think Mobile and Birmingham are top dogs, but also the Montgomery area is right there, and then the Wiregrass. You'll hear about kids from smaller schools like Alvin Henderson, who's a running back who just committed to Penn State. You'll hear about Zion Grady. All of them are basically Wiregrass kids. It's an area, Enterprise, Elba, Andalusia. It's kind of close to Georgia, but close to Florida. It's if you look at that on the map, it's kind of like almost in the middle of nowhere almost, but it's a lot of talent in that area. That'll be probably, to me, third. Then Montgomery area. Central Phoenix City is its own little land right there by Columbus and all of that. And then Tuscaloosa is actually on the up and up right now. Tuscaloosa has a lot of great programs. And then East Alabama, Northeast, Oxford, right there by the Georgia state line. Oxford, Anniston, that whole area right there is talent rich right there. We're trying to get Huntsville there. Huntsville a little different up there, but we're trying to get them there, and hopefully they'll come around one day.
Gosh, go ahead, Vic.
Now they do got what's the name? Hezekiah. I can't remember his last name. He was up there.
Hezekiah Harris.
Hezekiah Harris.
But he's from Anniston. He's from Anniston though. Yeah.
Facts. Just you already kind of elaborate on the Wiregrass area. You cleaned it up real well. I'm like, what is Wiregrass area? But just kind of how far do you think Alabama is from kind of getting coaches and media to a cohesive? Is it like 5 years out, 2 years out? What's your thoughts?
Man, that's a good one. I don't know the answer to that one. We're trying, because it's not just the disconnect from the media to the coaches. It's also the parents. Everyone has to be involved in this. So the parents, the trainers, the coaches, the media, and the programs itself, from the ADs on, everyone has to kind of be on the same page. And right now it's more bickering than anything. And I mean, we're still seeing progress. Naima Ford is the number 2 cornerback in the nation. So we're seeing progress. Last year, Jalen Mbakwe. We have great athletes in the state. That brings attention to the state, and from that you get gems. You get gems here and there. But we're still a little bit. I don't want to put a time frame on it, because hopefully we can have a kumbaya moment and it happen tomorrow. But we just don't know at this point right now.
Not for sure. What would be a reason a Georgia kid should transfer or could transfer to an Alabama school? Like, what would be the benefits coming? Moving further down south or east southwest.
I wouldn't. If I was you, I'd stay right where you at, yo, fella. Y'all got high school NIL. Y'all got some great facilities. I seen Buford, Gainesville, Grayson, Carrollton, where the Under Armour event was at Carrollton. That was a great event, great facilities. Collins Hill is huge. We're not even talking South Georgia with Valdosta and all that down there. So it's some great football being played in Georgia. I wouldn't suggest no one to just up and move to Alabama. We are a state that's very prideful. But we are a state that's it's rough. It's rough here. It is very rough. I love what they're doing in Georgia, and I think you guys' movement. I say we're top 5, but I think you guys are top 2. I think Georgia is a top 2 state, and from that, I do think we kind of learn a lot from you guys, from how you guys move to how you guys accept the media on the sidelines to how you guys just do small little things. We we see what you guys do first, and then we try to implement.
So you spoke of media, from media on our end, it's smooth, but like any you go to any school, you got different people going in, so they're kind of tight. Like me and Jerome went to Douglas County. The lady was not trying to let us in. So like from y'all perspective, what's the biggest pushback or kind of a story that you can share, like where they weren't as accepting of media coming in? How'd you kind of overcome that?
We usually call ahead. We call ahead. Between three of us, and it's way more on the team now. We could pretty much get into most of the games that we need to get into. And if we can't get into it, then hey, we just rock with who rock with us. If you want us to help your babies get that exposure, we're gonna help you. If not, then we're still gonna shake your hand, say good luck, and still try to help these babies from the far. But yeah, we try to just rock with who rock with us. Luckily, I haven't had any trouble getting into any game that I ever wanted to get into in the state of Alabama. They've always welcomed us with open arms every time, and that's from the smallest programs to the biggest programs. We had Larry and Trey down at Thompson. I've been at Moody games a lot of times. We've been at Parker, Ramsey, all the way down to Mobile, Saraland, Spanish Fork, Gulf Shore. So they've always accepted us with open arms wherever we went to.
For sure. Now I got to ask you brought up Gainesville, you just brought up Moody. How do you feel about the Georgia-Alabama collide possibly this offseason, but definitely when the season starts?
Man, that's going to be a good one. So it's three matchups. It's three Georgia versus Alabama. It's Moody and Gainesville, which I think could go either way. I know they lost a bunch on their offense. It's Parker and Carrollton. Good luck, Juju. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough.
Okay. Talk about it. Talk about it before you go. Talk about that.
Okay. So with Carrollton, I'll say this. Juju looks great.
Right.
Their defense though looks suspect. They finna face a great defense. The number 2 cornerback in the nation, Naima Ford. They got a 6'5" defensive end, Caleb Smith. They got a Auburn commit, 4-star Jordan Crawford on that defensive tackle line. I heard of a transfer that moved in. I can't say the name right now. They have Timothy Merritt. They have a whole bunch. Man, it's going to be some smoke for you. And they're going to be in mid-season form. That's going to be a good one. Grayson and Thompson play.
Yes.
Tyler Atkinson, I got to see him at the Under Armour event in Carrollton, and that kid looks like a generational talent. He looks like a specimen. I think it's going to be the straight opposite. I want to see Trent Seaborn deal with Tyler Atkinson and the rest of that Grayson defense, that great Grayson defense. So yeah, I think those two, to me, and then the Moody and Gainesville game probably be the tiebreaker. So we'll get to see who. That'll be the first game of the season that we'll get to see is Moody and Moody and Gainesville. Yeah.
As fast as last question. So yes, right. You did say the third one. So last question for me. Now I'll throw it to Jerome. Just the overall impact that I have on the kids, man. What does it mean to you to give back, try to provide a clear road for some of the kids?
Yeah, it means a lot, man, to know that we're able to do something that we didn't have coming up. It means a lot that they can hit my inbox, and if I can't get the answer, I can reach out to someone and get them an answer, get their parents a clear answer. It means a lot. College coaches giving us calls, trying to let us know what they need, what they want, what they're looking for, the size measurables, and we're able to relay that to the coaches and let them know that they have an extra hand that's looking out for them. It just means a lot, man. I'm trying to let them know that we have each other's back. You know, Alabama got to have Alabama back the same way Georgia has Georgia back, Florida has Florida back, Texas has Texas back, and Cali has Cali back. That's just been the overall feeling where everywhere we go is, man, we appreciate you guys, and we try to be accepting of everything, and just help these babies move on to the next level, man, and be positive, productive members in our state.
True. Last thing. What's the biggest difference from your area? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, probably having to either get coach chop up for him, you chop up for him, send out the college coaches. Now these kids, they got huddle. That's all right. Well, I mean, people still have to chop it up, but you just put your link on your social and it goes crazy. So, what would you say is the biggest difference? And what would you do now?
The biggest difference back then was obviously the internet part. But then the access to the trainers, we didn't have, like, someone might have got hold of a YouTube video or a VHS video back when we was younger, and the whole hood might have been doing a couple cone drills or something, but they have access to real deal trainers that went and played at the next level, whether it's college or the NFL, and they're coming back and they're feeding into these babies now. So now you're seeing them 15, 16, or sometimes younger, looking way more developed and looking like a D1 athlete, you know. So I think that's the difference between our age group and this age group, is the training that they're able to get.
Go ahead, Drew.
Hey, my question is, like, you already talked about like some of the top states in the country. You know, you got, you know, everybody always talk about the top three: Florida, you know, Texas, Cali. I think Georgia's in that round, but Georgia don't get talked about as much. And then, you know, you yourself, you said, you know, Alabama's top 5. What is it about, you know, Georgia and Alabama that maybe you can shine some light on, you know, maybe some viewers that are in those other states or outside of those states that are looking in and like, hey, we got talent too.
Yeah, there's no offense to California, but California, when I think of top states, I think it's Texas, Georgia, Florida, and you can put them in whatever order, but Georgia's somewhere in that mix. Cali's right there, but their brand of football is different. Their brand of football is a little different. And I stayed in San Diego for a good while. One of my child was actually born in California. So like, what's crazy is their style of football, it fits what you see in the Pac-12. You know, it fits that style of ball where here, Georgia, I think you can get a plethora of everything that you want. You know, we've seen quarterbacks come out of Georgia. You know, we've seen offensive tackles, we've seen defensive tackles, we've seen linebackers. So I think that's what's making Georgia be more of a hub. It's always been breeding ground for great players in Georgia, and in Alabama and Mississippi. The numbers are just smaller in these states, but of course the numbers are way higher with millions of people. But I think what makes Georgia special also is the facilities that we were just talking about. Florida has the players, but when you go to Georgia and you see those facilities, you're blown away. You know, it's kind of like Texas. When you go to Texas and you see that this arena that they're playing in Katy, Texas, or wherever they're playing at, it looks like a little college stadium. You know, the feel is totally different. And I'm getting that feel from Georgia, where I think you guys are a top 2 state.
Appreciate that. I'm coming from Jersey, so I'm a Jersey guy. I'm coming down here. Been down here almost 3 years now. Next week will be 3 years actually. And one thing I noticed is like down south football, you know, all the SEC area, it's just a big hub of football, you know, and the main reason why I came down here. But what do you think it is about just in the SEC that just, you know, makes everything different from everybody else? You know, we already talked about the big schools, but in general, like, you know, even the numbers, like if you look at, you know, the top schools, most of them are in the SEC, you know. What is it about the South, other than, you know, the rest of the country, you think is just making it better down here?
Man, you start playing at 4 years old. I had this conversation with a parent the other day. I was like, I remember you start off playing at 4 and you crying and your mama making you go. And then when you hit about 6 or 7, you start crying because you lose. And then when you hit 9 or 10, you start telling folks, hey, I made him cry. You know, that's the 3 phases that we got in the South. You know, you start crying, then you crying because you lose, and then you go and tell mama, I made him cry in the game. You know, like those are the 3 phases of football in the South. Every Saturday you get up, you go watch some ballpark, get you some nachos, and those boys are out there treating it like it's a Sunday game, you know. And that culture, that culture of that, it just raises competition. It raises the level, and it means something. It means Friday nights in high school football really means something. In a lot of small towns, you can probably go and rob every liquor store or every other store in that town because nobody's there. Everybody's at that game. You know, it's that great feel of just, you know, that pride and joy of you playing for the name that's on the front, not just the back. You also care about the back too, but you really care about the name that's across your chest. So I think that's what the South kind of brings to it. Now, it's great football being played in New Jersey. Alabama has had some great players come from New Jersey. Pennsylvania also. I think Ohio also. It's some great states here and there, not just in the South, that produces great talent too.
No, I agree with that. Actually, I do agree with that. One thing I always came to Mobile for the Senior Bowl, so I've been to Mobile 6 years now, 7 years, something like that straight. And my first trip to Alabama was Mobile, and the first thing that I experienced was me getting into an Uber, and the first thing that the Uber driver said to me was hi. She said "Roll Tide." That was crazy. That was the first thing she said to me. So obviously right now, Alabama, the college is a big big influence on that state, and I think it's mainly because that's like your main football hub. You don't really have an NFL team.
Right.
At least that's what I heard. How's the dynamic down there right now with now that Nick Saban's leaving and all the changes? Which from Alabama guy, what's some of your takes on how that dynamic is kind of going down there with all the changes?
It was inevitable. It was definitely gonna happen. Nick did great things. The culture that he said he changed young men into grown men, responsible grown men. So what he did for the program was great. The board, I actually got to meet the board and ask him some questions for Junior Day. Great guy. I know Kane Womack from South Alabama in Mobile. Great guy also. The state I feel is still intact. I still feel like it's intact at Alabama, and he's just trying to figure out a way to make it his own. But the legacy that Nick Saban left behind was a great one. I think it's a different era of those kids that would take that, you would get that kid on the discount because of Nick Saban. That's not going to happen anymore. So I do feel like the NIL part will play a bigger factor. But yeah, I still think Alabama should be in good hands. Now, Auburn is in great hands also. That's the little brother in the state. But they should definitely be in great hands with Hugh Freeze. They have great alumni support. And they're definitely a force to be reckoned with here in the future. Yeah,
I honestly think they about to start trying to really take advantage of what Alabama's moving on with. Really, you could tell they're really trying to, push that narrative. Like, hey, all right, we're gonna guys now. So that's also awesome, man. Tell us some players that you've been in contact with. Maybe some players that the rest of the world might not know right now because like you said, like we always saying, like Alabama is not really on that top tier map, so some of those kids might not get as much shine. Right. Name is one or two, three, maybe a couple of players that you would like to highlight.
My first one would be a 2026 quarterback dual threat. He's committed to Carolina right now. His name's Landon Duckworth.
We love Duck.
Yeah. Yep. Landon Duckworth is he's so underrated. A lot of people don't understand what this kid does. He went to like the second and third round. Soon as they got put out, started basketball, went on to win state championship. He's been working every week to become a better person, a better leader. And a lot of people, this is a 4A we talking about. He put BTA. He puts belt to the butt.
Yes,
7A programs. 7A programs. He will go walk in there and say, "This is mine tonight," and he will do that. He's the first one I would probably highlight. The second one would probably be Caleb Smith, 6'5", about 240, 250. He plays for Parker High School in Birmingham. Kids special. He's his arm length. Just when you look at him, you see a kid that can be special on that edge. If he can set that edge, I think he's gonna have a great year. He's being recruited by Louisville, Georgia Tech, and a bunch of other schools. I think Caleb has the potential to be special for 2025. And then another 26 kid, I'd say Vidney Cleveland. This kid is for Prattville. His first two offers was Alabama and Auburn. Alabama and Auburn offered him. and it's just been blowing up ever since. This kid is 6'4", about 280, and it doesn't look sloppy on him. It looks real put together. This kid is gonna be a problem. Definitely a 5-star potential type kid. I really think he has potential to be the #1 defensive tackle in the class if he comes out this year and shows himself. And that would be my 3 picks.
Nice. Last question, and I'll send it back to Naj. You already talked about Landon, and I think all 3 of us know Landon because he does such a good job of, he's in Alabama, but he's been, training and stuff, like doing stuff in Georgia a lot. So kind of put his name out there. Would that be a suggestion you would do or tell kids as well, like, move around, not just be in one state?
Yeah, I would definitely move around. If you could get training from outside the state, I think it's a dude named Route Guide in Florida that does wide receiver training. We went down to Sac Sensei down in Broward a couple times with my jet. So like if you can afford it, I would definitely say do it. But if not, hey, just hit that backyard and get better, young fella. Definitely find a way to get better. And if it ain't recorded, this the thing in today's new age is if it ain't recorded, it didn't happen. So you kind of gotta stay active on your social media, posting, whether it's just sets of you weightlifting, whether it's sets of you running routes, whatever it is, you want to stay active, you want to stay professional, represent yourself, your school, and your brand to the best of your capabilities. So that way it's a positive light. So sooner or later, a coach will come around and ask, hey, tell me about this kid. That's what you're wanting. So yeah, I do think traveling, if you can afford to, will benefit you. But at the end of the day, work don't know nobody. So just get to it.
Mm-hmm.
You see. Yeah, Nash.
Yeah. Let me ask you a little bit, man. So obviously we talked about the matches a little bit earlier, right? With the Grayson Thompson, the Carrollton Parker, which now that I think about it, that's going to be an electric matchup, even more so. And then the Gainesville Moody. So do you think like in the future, like there should be more matchups like this interstate, between some of the powerhouse programs, just to be able not only to put Georgia on, but to put this Alabama on, and some of these games get televised on ESPN and these major networks.
Yes, man. I wish we could set up a all-star game. Our all-star game is against Mississippi, and I think Georgia's is against Florida, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I wish we can find a way to kind of swap it up, son, because we've been putting BTA to Mississippi for some years now, man. No offense to Mississippi, man, but we kind of got to step to elevate the level of play up a little bit to kind of give some competition. I do think I like when I see a coach do that. I remember when Gaines told me that they was gonna play Gainesville. To me, that was exciting because Gaines out of region opponents. He played a Maryland team, I think, last year, who was a pretty good team. He was a real good team. They was a real good team. But to see him step it up this year, and his schedule is probably one of the toughest schedules. Moody's schedule is probably a top 5 schedule in the state because they play a 7A team, a 6A team, and then an out of state opponent, which I thought was dope. I would love to see more of that, more Grayson, more Valdosta. I'm sad nobody picked up that Valdosta. I seen them asking who, saying they had a game open. I was like, man, I wish Central Phoenix City or someone would have picked that one up. That would have been dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. I definitely think it raises the level of competition, and it makes those college coaches flock there on Friday night.
You're right about that. And then tell us a little bit about your list, man. I mean, I've been talking to some Bama boys, getting relationships with them, and everybody keep talking about your down south Jits list, man. So put us on game, man. What is that list? Where did you get the word Jit from? But like, because it got a little nice like sound to it. So it's so catchy, man. So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh man, I was just thinking one day, and we was like, we're gonna do a list, and me and all the guys, we was like, man, let's do something for the Jits, and I was like, okay. Let's do the Jits that's lit. Let's do a Jits that's lit every class. And so we started doing Jits that's lit 27s, Jits that's lit 26s, Jits that's lit 25s. And we would do these lists, man, and we would have people from, this is how we started the crew. of people because we needed people from everywhere, so it wasn't Birmingham biased, Mobile biased, or just centrally biased to one location. So we was like, okay, everybody submit names of this class, and we would go through and we would put a vote to it. And it would cause some commotion because we would leave some kids off or whatever like that, you know. And it was just a matter of us all in this group chat trying to come to a consensus. And sometimes, you know, these parents, boy, they don't want to hear you left their baby off now. But now
we know.
it's hey, you left their baby off, boy. You better be ready for it. But nah, it's been great, man. It's been great feedback from it. We do it every year. This is the second year that we've done it. This will be the third coming up this season. It's been great, man. I crowned QB Reese the best linebacker in the state last year, and everybody was going crazy. Like, how could you say it? And now he's going to Alabama, you know. So I just hold true to my guns of what I think I see and what I see on film. I watch so much of it, and if I think that player is that, I'm gonna name it how I see it. I think Naima Ford is one of the best corners in the state. So he's my pick. You know, New Boy Fagans is the best safety to me. So things like that I say out loud. Sometimes.
Not the state, man. Come on, man. You're not doing Naeem Ford justice, man. Now you good. You ain't doing Naeem Ford justice. Yes, sir. You're not doing Naeem Ford justice. The best in the country. Come on, man.
Yeah, hey, I think so too. I think New Boy is the best in the nation. You know, when you turn on New Boy Fagan's film, man, it's incredible. That young fella at safety he's doing some special stuff. Some special stuff.
No doubt about it. And then tell us, man, what are kind of, just to put you more out there, what kind of some plans you got? Obviously, we in April, you know, it's the big recruit season for the 25s. It's going to be a little while before colleges start talking the 26s. But what's your plans for this off season, man, before the season kickoff? And what are some games you're trying to hit when the season officially does kick off?
Yeah, so right now I'm working on a segment that we'll be producing called Show Me Bama. I don't know if anybody watched Remember the Titans when he said fourth quarter, game on the line. What you gonna do? Show me Bama. Show me Bama. You know, we're doing a segment called Show Me Bama. And it's basically we're gonna go around going to different schools. We're gonna highlight one person on the offense, one person on the defense, and ask them questions. And then it's gonna be Show Me Bama time to sit down in that film room and get them to talk us through what they're seeing on film for certain plays. So we'll do that. And then the summer, we'll probably still kind of mess around a little bit with a couple facilities, but come the actual season, I'm definitely trying to be in attendance for that Carrollton. The first game of the season is Moody Gainesville. I will be in attendance for that one. I definitely want to see the homecoming of Niblett in this matchup. The Parker Carrollton game, that's a must. And then I have to make my way down to Central Phoenix City versus Auburn. That, to me, that's the three big games that I must attend this year.
No doubt. Last one, I'll throw it back to Bacon. Who you think now you can throw out a couple names, but who do you think is the most college ready guy in the 24 class coming in? Obviously, you know, I'm gonna go out the way here. I don't want you to use Cam Coleman. I feel like we already know that. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want you to kind of dig a little deep and give us a guy that you think might be able to contribute that nobody's talking about, that could put some people on notice.
Out the 24 class, I'd probably say Tevis Metcalf could probably contribute. To me, he was the best corner in the state last year. Mario Craver, his teammate, a wide receiver. He went to Mississippi State. That kid has wheels on him like crazy. We all know Ryan Williams. We all know Perry Thompson. Perry Thompson, by the way, is a specimen of an athlete. Everybody's turning heads with Cam Coleman. Perry's not there yet, but he would definitely turn some heads once he get on campus also. Let's see, who else? Jeremiah Beeman. He's at Alabama right now. I do think Jeremiah Beeman would do great things. He's another product from Parker. Man, it's so many, man. It's so many, I think. I think I'll stay with them. The 23 class was a little deeper than this 24 class. I think the 23 class was the deepest class because we had so many freshmen last year contribute across all sports. Peter Woods, Kelby Collins, Dozier, Amari Thomas. It was so many kids from Alabama in that 23 freshman class that contributed across the board. It's gonna be hard for the 24 class to compete with it. But yeah, I do see those making a couple little notches in the belt this year.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Big.
Coach, you talked about there's no NIL in Alabama. Why not breaking the kids off?
Hey man, that's the powers that be. Y'all know how it go, man. It's the powers that be. That's out of my pay range. I do know it's inevitable. It's inevitable. So it'll eventually come. And when it does, man, it's gonna be a hailstorm because we do have big players like a Hoover that can make something shake. You know, Hoover is a city that has a lot of businesses inside of that city that can make something shake. And I think that the scary part in Alabama is they're scared it could be the death of small ball. They're scared the 1A, 2A, 3As, 4As could be affected the most by it. Yeah. And I feel them because here, I mean, in Alabama, we have kids go D1 from 1A. You know, we had 2 boys in the 23 class that went to Georgia Tech, you know, from one school in 1A, both from Bryson Dixon and Pugh. They both went to Georgia Tech from Leroy, Alabama. It's very small 1A. And I mean, Alvin Henderson, he's one of the best running backs in the nation. He's at a 1A school. So, I mean, I think that's what they're scared of is the purity of the sport being broken. And I can respect that. But at the same time, it's you got to get with the times or we can get left behind, you know. So hopefully they kind of find middle ground somewhere because I do think a kid should be able to make a profit. But at the same time, I get where they're coming from.
Yeah, man, probably some small schools might have to hit the fan. I hope not, but I got some family in Abbeville, so I kind of know a little bit about the dynamics and demographics. When you watch it, how many hours of film do you watch then? How do you kind of bounce? I know you're a family man as well.
Oh man, I watch a lot of film a day. I get a message from a kid probably at least 2 or 3 kids message me a day. And then plus you have other people that their parents that'll contact you and tell you to watch their film. Then we have our own group chat with kids like, hey, you need to watch this kid right here. So definitely at least an hour or so a day. And I just balance it, man. My family is real big on football. So we love football. We're big on it. And we don't mind. We just never minded trying to help the next, you know. My granddad actually started a semi-pro league down in a semi-pro team down in Mobile at one time called the Generals, and then he sold it. And so he evaluated talent when he was older. So like it's just always been a thing where I've been around football for a long time. So watching it just seems like it's natural, you know. And then I can pick up that kid has it. That kid needs work here. You know, you can kind of pick it up the more you watched film and seen kids, you can kind of pick it up very quick and be able to help this kid get to where it needs to be.
Most definitely, Coach. I don't know if we asked you before, but why the name Down South?
I don't know, man. It was just something that was available, and it was like Down South. And I because my real name's Steve, so I was gonna put Down South Steve, but they were like, nah, Down South, that's dope, and it just stuck. And yeah, I just been rocking with it ever since, man. Now my sports company when I go film and I edit and do stuff like that, it's called O9. And O9 is like a saying that we use to greet each other in Mobile. Like you see that, they'll go, hey there. You be like, O9, how you doing? You know, and that's just been the thing of mine where it's O9 Sports, and it just stuck too. And yeah, I don't know. It's just a country thing. I guess I'm just country.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So whenever we come down to Birmingham, we're gonna need some spots. I know there's a chicken spot, Kool-Aid McKinstry. I don't know if you've seen his documentary. He talked about it, but I cannot remember the name of the spot. But from whenever we come down to Alabama or Birmingham specifically, or a couple spots you got, where should we stop by?
Man, wings and things, exotic wings. Definitely those two. If you're anywhere in Hoover, they got a takeout hibachi, a Porto hibachi in Hoover. Great spot. Man, there's so many different places. I don't want to miss nobody. I don't want to miss. Hey, y'all excuse me if I'm Cajun boys, but they're po' boys down here towards Alabaster. They're great. It's a lot of different places. If you go to Mobile, the Mud Bugs by the Loop, great seafood. Man, you put me on the spot there, but it's a lot of places. It's a lot of good eating. It's a lot of good eating.
All right, for sure. Last thing for me, Coach. Will you be at the Hoover 7-on-7 this year?
Yeah, I should definitely make the 7-on-7 this year. I made it last year. Walker White. It was a lot of boys. That kid from where was he from? Savannah. He committed to Florida State.
Luke Cromer.
Yes.
Yeah, he was there. That kid from Benedictine. That's the name of the school, Benedictine. He was. Hey, that kid's gonna be special. That kid's gonna be special.
Most definitely, Coach. Well, like I said, we're gonna definitely see you in Moody, and we'll definitely catch you before then at Hoover. So I'm saying we'll definitely be tapped in, locked in. So we appreciate you tapping in with us on this Tuesday evening.
Man, I sure appreciate you guys, man. Y'all have a good night.
Yes,
no, we got to let Naj close it out. Go ahead, Naj. I feel like you got something to say.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
You good, Jerome? Do you want to ask anything else, or you straight?
I had one question that I wanted to ask, but it's all good.
No, go ahead real quick.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask, Coach, what's pretty much your everyday kind of rundown of how you do your thing. I know the end season is a little bit different than the off season, but how's your like everyday kind of when you get preparing for a game or preparing to look up a kid, how's that kind of go for you?
It's usually a inbox. I wake up to notifications going crazy on Twitter. 9 times every day is usually notifications that starts the day off, retweeting the kids, check the inboxes, and then from there it's always check this kid out, and then from there it leads to what's going on with this kid, and even the coaches hit us up, so it could be a coach following, asking us what they need, what they're missing, what they're looking for, if we know anybody in the portal. And this is all the way from JUCO, NAIA, all the way up to actual P4. So yeah, it's usually a day of calling someone, asking, hey, he's looking for this. Do you know someone? Would you vouch for this kid? Would you vouch for his character? This and this and this, and these are the conversations that we have all day, really. It's usually parents call also asking questions. So it's a mixture of both.
Okay. Nice. Go ahead, Naj.
All right, so before we wrap, man, tell the good people, man, where they can find you on social media platform, man. They can tap into the great content that your guys is doing.
Oh man, definitely. Down South Football 1 on Twitter. 09 Sports on TikTok and Instagram. We've been trying to build On Point Media Group on Twitter, and then of course Halltech Sports. We also have Larry the Scout Guy, SEC Mixtape, Helmet to Helmet down in Mobile, Southern Charm in Montgomery. So yeah, we're building the team up, Coach Larry. So we're definitely building the team up. Definitely feel free to give us a follow, holler at us. We're not gonna bite. So if you guys have any questions or parents even, you don't have to be from Alabama. If you have any questions on recruitment, different things, feel free to reach out to us and someone to give you a holler.
No doubt about it. Well, guys, there is our guest for today, man. Down South, man, doing big things, man. Formerly goes by Steve, man, but they doing some great content down there in Bama, man. One of the big ones, them, Bama Preps. Unlock Your Game, man. They're doing some special stuff, giving these kids notice, man. So y'all go holler at them, man. Hey, man, we appreciate it, man. I know it's probably tough. I know probably got the girl. She's like, man, what you doing, man? It's 7:30. You got these kids calling too, so we appreciate you spending the time.
Hey, man, I sure appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too, man.
You too.
There you go. South, man. Appreciate him spending that hour, man, coming on, just talking a little bit about Bama, things that they do and things like that, man. So hit him up, wanted to bring him on. He said like the content and stuff like that. So yeah, man, what's your biggest impression before we move on?
I like the
man,
fact that. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jerome.
No, I just like the fact that Alabama. You don't get to hear a lot about Alabama, and he's very tapped into Alabama. He's homegrown, so he can see the talent. He can see things that people that's not in that state. And so I really took away from it is that Alabama do have a lot of talent. And it's crazy because for me, I'm new to the South, as you like I said before, and when he was rattling off names of schools, I'm just like, oh, I heard of that school. Oh, I heard of that school. So it's for me, it's kind of cool to hear him kind of put those schools on the map because for me, I kind of forget about it because again, you're always looking at the big schools, the big states and stuff like that. But when him telling us about like certain schools and Hoover and Moody and Phoenix, hearing those names, I'm like, I heard of those schools before. I know some of the players from the schools actually, but I just kind of don't think about it because again, always think about Georgia, Florida, Cali, Texas, that kind of thing. So I like how he kind of brought out that light, like there's more talent out there. It's not just those 4 states. So.
Nah, for sure. Kind of build up what you said, Jerome. Just being knowledgeable. Like we had unlock your game on here. It's like don't just go to the big schools. You got people that's knowledgeable, the people that's not chasing the hype. You know what I'm saying? So you got good brothers like that, connected with guys, different states. Media for the most part, it's a conglomerate. It's just together. It's a small knit community. So people talk, people know. You know what I'm saying? We like to chirp in here, see what's going on, chirp in here, so we can kind of get a full story now, so we can bring you the most consistent and credible news on the First and Foremost podcast. But that. I mean, honestly, that's it. Just being knowledgeable, being in the trenches, being boots on the ground, and obviously say it's a warm welcome whenever they come around in the community. Because the brother, I went with myself. I should have asked him. Went to Central Phoenix City. And coach wasn't trying to let me holler at Cam, so I probably should let him ask him about that, how he kind of maneuvers that. But that's just the difference between Alabama and Georgia, the different types of culture. But yeah, just the thoroughness really stood out to me.
Yeah, no doubt. I have to agree with that. Definitely with the thoroughness, because I know here we was trying to, or not we, but a couple people have been trying to do an all-star game, actually with Georgia and Alabama, pitting them two up against each other. But a lot of time it's flack with their association. They're very like how you was kind of saying with the facilities and things like that. They're very like kind of tough there in Alabama. So I think that's a little bit too why their growth isn't as big as it can be, and to a degree, because when the association, if they're like, oh no, well you can't do this game, or no, we can't do that, it kind of hurts the kids' exposure as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think that plays a part in it. But now the talent is very talent rich. They just got to get the exposure, keep having these outlets. Put them on notice, and like you said, you got the legacy media and you got the new media. Obviously, articles are great. Keep doing articles on kids, but also video is prime right now. Video is really king. If you can do video with an article too, it's like a 2-for-1. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I think it's great matchups, and them 3 that he mentioned, man, those are gonna all be off the chain. I think it's gonna be great because it's gonna highlight both states.
Most definitely, bro.
Yep.
Well, I was getting ready to say one more thing that if it'll pop back into my mind here. Alabama people who watching it or who may see this for anybody, just kind of, tap into that budding media, you know what I mean? Not throwing any shade on the bigger media, but so why would we allow them to come in and just have such easy access when you got guys that's right there next to you on the sideline with you in the stand, what you're talking to, you giving you insight and help you out. So, just win with you who's been winning with you instead of just jumping ship because so-and-so's got this type of influence when they could be talking to the same people that's right next to you. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a small knit community. People know each other. People talk. So win with who's winning with you.
Yeah, I agree with that, Bacon. And if you go back a couple shows ago, Donnell Kelly's dad said that, we like I said, I'm gonna be rocking with you, Bacon, inside. Obviously, Naj, because y'all was the first to put notice on my kid. Y'all was the ones that supported him when he was, on the come up. So that goes back to kind of the point you just made. Like, go with the kids, go with the media. That's really trying to help you out because, like you said, when you do get there, then it's like you said, the national media goes and they try to take, not that it's bad, but at the same time, then they go, oh, now that you're a big 4-star, oh, well, we want to give you more attention. And last thing I'll say, I'll throw it to Jerome. Remember, guys, that small media outlet or the one that's growing at the same time you're growing, right? They're going to one that's going to put you out there so you can get noticed, right? They're the ones that are going to like and retweet all your stuff. Like they said, I think the biggest thing with the kids is they throw the national media guys, which, no disrespect to them. They're all busy. I'm not going to name no names. But a lot of times, like Coach Daniel said on the show months ago, they don't like or retweet none of your stuff. Go with people that's going to like and retweet and at least try to get you out there.
Right.
100%. Yeah. Crazy is when you said that, it just popped in my mind. Darnell Kelly's not even ranked, which is insane to me. He just put out a tweet the other day, like, I'm not even ranked. I'm like, hold on, what? Oh, or starred, rather. He said that, and I was like, whoa, like, are you about to put it up? Bacon?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah. You gotta.
Wait. Keep the audio off. Mute the
Why?
audio. Copyright. Ding ding.
Hey,
Yeah,
man, I'm trying to get people a immersive experience, man. I appreciate you, brother. I'll rotate, man.
Rotate.
Hold on now. What's going on?
Fast snap. Still got it off. Woo! And look, it kind of jipped out a little bit right there. Hold on. But
yeah, my bad. I'll back it up.
No, that's not you. Is it? So the spin move. So come out spin move and to throw like that on that angle. That's insane, man. This kid got talent. Like,
come on, bro.
Still keep your eyes down the field. Like anybody else would have ran that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
that's
somebody would have ran right there, kept his eyes down the field, got him on the spot. Like, come on, man. This man's not ranked. Are you serious?
That's elite, man.
Hold on. I'm gonna find it real quick. But
can't do nothing but stop smiling. Can't stop smiling saying that, man.
It's crazy, like.
Shout out to BK doing that, the OT7, at the biggest, the pinnacle, one of the pinnacle events for 7-on-7, man. To get this moment to go viral, man. I know him and his family definitely. It's like, yeah. I'm sure they all smile cohesively about that.
Yeah, definitely. Now I don't see the tweet anymore, which might have deleted, which is okay. But he definitely said it at one point. Was like, hey. Because I remember I said something about it. So I was like, come on, guys. Like, why we're not ranking him? Like, why we're not starting this guy? Come on. What are we doing? So,
right.
And again, that's come to show you, like, they're doing it right, though. They're going to get his name going to get out there. And, and he not only just getting your name out there, getting in front of media, but he's actually put it on the field, too. So, him not having that star is going to go real quick. Trust me.
By way of Huncho Elite.
Yes, sir.
No doubt about it, man. But yeah, that's our thoughts, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up the football section with reacting to the road trip that we just took.
Yeah, go ahead.
To Nashville. And I'm gonna start with you, Bacon, because you ready to talk about it. Like, you excited, you got the smile and everything. So you go ahead and start us up, man. Yeah, I see the smile. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, this past weekend, we infiltrated the Nashville headquarters for University of Under Robert Camp. We went to Nashville by way of Brentwood Academy. We were surprised with a lot of treats. We saw, y'all gonna laugh at this. I would say this brother day wrong. We were at the camp. I believe it's Greg McIntyre.
George
McIntyre. George McIntyre. I would say George, Greg.
He's highly rated.
The whole trip.
I came in saying George, and then for some reason my mind was Greg.
I hear George. Okay.
But George McIntyre was there, phenomenal quarterback, going to Tennessee. Hearing a little whispers about Peyton Manning, possibly per se. I think the young man is an intellectual, just from kind of watching his presence on social media and kind of being around him. Jared Curtis, he was there, and helped me out, the Mississippi State commit. That's now a 4-star.
Kamario Taylor, MVP, quarterback MVP of the camp, caught my eye. I didn't even know him, but the way he was walking around, solid frame, his release, it was like, yeah, he's tough.
So those were the biggest stars that were there. Of course, you had 50 wide receiver. What's the wide receiver you posted today, Jerome?
Corey Sims.
Corey Sims was there. Christian Brothers, CBA, a lot of talent. But I want to shed some light on a defensive back that was making some noise that didn't get any recognition.
Oh, which one is it? The one I highlighted?
Kessler Jenkins.
Nope.
Kessler Jenkins is a dog from Oak Grove High School, Mississippi, 2025. Just a kid. He had a lot of pass breakup. I'm surprised he didn't get any write-ups, but he had a big PBU on Corey Sims. I believe he had an interception. I'm gonna put out the clip soon, but he's definitely a guy that stood out to me. For the defensive lineman MVP of the camp was Gooden. Last name was Gooden.
That's O-line.
That's O-line. What I said, D-line? Chauncey Gooden.
Yep.
Chauncey Gooden, the offensive lineman. I can see it. The resiliency. It got some strength. Some things it could have cleaned up on. But I say this too. Going to this camp, I think all three of us had in mind that this is going to be a kind of a diamond in the rough for kids that people didn't know, but I don't have the big mainstream. And talking to a couple of reporters, I can't remember the brother's name. He's a big reporter out of Mississippi. Works for Rivals, if I'm not mistaken. He was like, "Yeah, man." I was talking to Warren, who runs the whole one camp. He was like, "Yeah, this is camp. Kind of put on Mississippi kids. He's from there. Both of them are from there. It's kind of giving them a platform." And I'll say this about Mississippi, and kind of how Steve was saying, they don't have like the facilities, don't have the trainers, and I think Mississippi is raw talent wise is just as big as anywhere in the nation, man. To be honest, from what I've seen, some guys were just out there on pure raw ability, still making plays, had good instincts. They had a little more training. They're probably up there with the top 4, low 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? And definitely Georgia. So I'll say that, and I'll slide it on to my other good brothers.
Yeah, man. To get to add on to the Mississippi part, I talked to a couple of people out from Mississippi as well. I think I met a couple at last year's. I think it was Cam Newton 707, and their team, which was something Academy. I'm bugging on the name, but I'm at the. I'm sorry.
Lipscomb.
Wasn't Lipscomb. It was. I think it started for M. I forgot exactly. But I was talking to their coach, and he was just like, "Man, we got talent. We just don't have no resources. It's not enough resources. It's not enough money coming into the state. So that's definitely something that eventually I would like to help out with. Get some faces in Mississippi so people can kind of do that. Maybe it could be a collaborative effort with all three of us. But I seen some good talent come out of Mississippi as well. So again, they just don't have the resources, and when you don't have the resources, you're not gonna bring photographers and media and all that to really put in there, because you don't have enough to show, or you know what I'm saying? So
right,
stuff like that. But sorry to get on that little rant, but Nashville was dope, man. I my first time in Nashville, I really wasn't expecting to see what we did see. It was a lot of great talent, fun environment. It wasn't too hot on us. It wasn't too, it was a little windy, but it was a nice little day. Go up there, got up there at 4:00 in the morning. We got a little documentary coming up soon with that. But yeah, it was great vibes. Man, I got a lot of different players that I probably wouldn't otherwise seen or heard of being down there. Got to see a guy that I knew already from IG Academy. He actually remembered me, being Anthony Rogers, running back. I felt like he was clearly one of the top guys there. Kind of upset that he get that MVP award, but man, he was balling out there.
Thanks.
A running back that was looking like a freaking pure receiver out there. He was destroying linebackers out there. Like the linebackers really didn't have no chance out there. And it was funny. He was just going out there like, yeah, man, this is easy, So a kid that I think have a lot of talent. Committed to Alabama, obviously. But I told you boys before the camp even starts, like, man, watch this kid. He's fast. He's instinctive. He got good vision, and you guys definitely got to see that in person. So and there's a lot of great talent out there. I'm still trying to put together all the names, but great time. We got to eat a little bit out there, so that was pretty cool. Got to experience some Nashville feels. My guy Hunter the Note. I think that's how you say his last name. Huh?
I said shout out to Hunter. I don't know. Shout out to Hunter.
Yeah. My boy Hunter, he's from Nashville. Got met him some time ago with Luke and the crew. So he was out there. We got to meet him over there and hung out a little bit. So now we got somewhere, someone we can contact when we in Nashville. Definitely want to go back again, man. Good vibes, loved it. Love to go again. But would have loved to explore the city a little bit more, but someone had to go work.
Yeah, man, and I ain't wearing no cowboy boots when I go down there neither.
Yeah, you got to. You have to, man. It's culture. It's the culture.
Come down as an Atlanta brother. They gonna know where I'm from.
All right. You look. Me and Nas gonna have the cowboy boots. Me and Nas gonna have the cowboy boots. And we're just gonna walk away from you and act like you're not part of the crew.
Like this chat going down, 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 down. I'm like these. We'll be singing that thing. Nah, I be saying it long. I might be 2-stepping, but not in the cowboy boots.
Come on,
Crocs. Maybe one day, but first day they gotta know. They gotta know how I'm stepping. How I'm ripping. Let's just move on, bro.
Now, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I thought it was cool, man. It's just one of them camps, man. Like, it's diamonds in the rough. Like, no disrespect to all the media outlets, but like, it's mostly going to be like, okay, they got the guys. Like, as you guys see, On3 did a really good job. On3 MVP, top 10 guys. Obviously 247 did it. Tom Lord, the national analyst that we saw, he did his list, outlined the guys. But then that's going to be it, right? There's not going to be much. You might see a couple guys with like film. You see it on Duke's show on On3 or something. They're going to do that or whatever. But they're going to do it for the top guys. But like, some of those guys are like underrated. Like someone like to do Caden Harris, similar to what you said, Bacon the DB. I mean, he made so many plays on the balls going back and watching it. And he had an interception, PBU, but didn't get recognized, right? So, like, that's a kid diamond in the rough, right? I think he's a 4-star, but still, just diamond in the rough. The one I seen that I highlighted on my Twitter today, Lakai Tompkins from West Side, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Right. I just, when I first seen him, I was like, yo, this dude's a specimen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just look like good 6'1", 6'2", 225. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just looks like a guy that's going to play on the next level. Like, you could just tell. But, only rated on 3 and then rivals, but easily could be, I think, a 4-star type player. He's just that big and physical. And then his sophomore year, he had 1,500 yards and 25 touchdowns. Like, it's those kind of guys you're able to recognize. So it's definitely one of them camps. And obviously the top guys were really good, but it's just a camp you go back and look and like, oh, okay, hey, let me highlight this player. Let me get this player some exposure, because it's not going to be nationally they're going to get it. It's going to have to be like, somebody else. Oh, who's this guy that whatchamacallit is talking about? Oh, okay, cool. Let me pay a little extra mind to him. Why is this person highlighting him? It is little stuff like that. So it was definitely different from Atlanta. Atlanta's loaded. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, Atlanta would be one you got to go to every year. I mean, it's just the talent in Georgia is on another level. I no disrespect to the other ones that were there, the Missouris, the Tennessees, the Ohios, the Kentuckys. I'm not saying that they don't have talent. They do, but I'm just saying like Atlanta, I'm saying it's going to be high-end book talent, which was there too, but more diamonds in the rough for sure at Tennessee, at Nashville. So that's my thoughts on the camp. Those are ones stood out to me. Obviously, those guys. Obviously, Calvin Meadows was another one, offensive lineman. I thought he did good. But yeah, overall good. I always like road tripping. As you guys know, I'm young, seeing new stuff. I was just going on a day trip, but it was just cool being there and being able to enjoy it.
Yeah, you want to show the film of I know you talked about Curtis, about how he missed it. Well, the bag was kind of moved and kind of messed him up. I got him throwing that sidearm, and then Cannon, bro. Mm-hmm. Cannon. I was like, bro,
it's different.
That's fine. It's 0282. I bet I'm getting ready to share the screen once again. I'm getting good at this, man. Y'all need to show some respect around this piece.
I'm still taking forever.
What?
You the oldest person on this panel, man.
Claude. Sorry.
Let's see, we would already had it pulled up.
Yeah.
See, but look though, it's not giving me access. Well, so the people that missed out, Westside posted, but it was electric throw. Sorry, chat.
Talking all that smack.
Hey, we performed earlier today. We've been on a hot streak. We've been on a hot streak. Sometimes you can't.
You can't perform under the lights. It's okay.
I perform. I perform well, sir.
Okay.
But so yeah, we on the next topic before we transition to the 3-man weave. We already kind of talked about it. Y'all want to go into like a little discussion about Cormani McClain leaving Colorado, Boulder, or we want to leave it as it is?
I say we can leave it as it is, man. I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit. I mean, what's your thoughts on it? I guess we can get your thought. We can wrap it.
Man, I'll say this, man. I'll kind of segue into something else. We know what type of Coach Prime is. There's no nonsense. We know Cormani was early on there. He wasn't seeing the field when we thought he was going to see the field, and Coach Prime came out and said he's been doing some things, whatever those things were. And also, the marriage had a rocky start, and I'm saying to see this, I was a little surprised. I was a little shocked, probably more let down than anything, because if Trav's going to play both ways, you're going to need at least one lockdown that's going to hold it down. So this is going to be a blow to the Buffs defense, Buffs team. But like I said, it's in Coach Prime we trust. I think the splash is going to maybe turn people's heads at the last minute. It's probably going to be that Juju Lewis sign. I think behind closed doors, under the carpet, I think Colorado is probably the true front runner for Mr. Lewis services. Per listening to Duke the Scoop.
I was just about to say that. I see you've been listening to the Duke show. Yeah, you got to because he's the only one that's talking about that. So I see you've been checking out his show.
I got to keep my ear to the streets, and I know Duke's go. I know Duke go. So he gonna give me what I need.
I feel that.
Shout out to Duke.
Yes, sir. Duke. Yes, sir. But yeah, we'll leave that there, man. Hopefully, wish him well on this journey, man, and we'll see where he ends up. We talked about some of those destinations, but obviously, I think a little bit is, obviously it's maturity. Not saying he's not mature, but when you're coming in, everybody says, "Oh, well, Travis is a generational talent." Remember, y'all, Travis is also one of the hardest working, man. So,
yeah,
I just say this real quick, and we're gonna go to basketball. Travis, literally after the game, where he had some good stuff offensively, but he basically got torched a little bit, against that Stanford game. He went back the next week. They had spring break. He stayed there the whole time watching film, right, getting better. Like, it's those kind of things, those habits, And Cormani's a great player, but it's all about your habits and how you conduct yourself, man. So, again, if you're a top-end talent, 5-star, that's good. But the coach shouldn't be having to tell you, oh, you need to watch more film. That should be natural. You should be wanting to get better. Not saying he's not good. He's a great player. But just I hope that my biggest takeaway from him, and I want him to be successful, I hope that he take them lessons that Coach Prime taught him and that he takes it to the next school. And he'd be like, okay, now I see what Coach Prime was talking about. He wasn't getting over. He just wanted me to be the best version of myself.
Yeah, and that's the part that of Coach Prime that I enjoy and I'm behind. I'm not really big on the flashy Prime. You know what I mean? The prime time. The dance that he does, and the celebrations with his players and stuff like that. That's not the Prime that I get behind. The Prime that, hey man, I don't care how talented you are. You gotta watch more film, or you're not getting on this field. And that's the Prime I love, bro. I love that part of Prime. Like, everybody always see the highlights of him, or the flashiness of him, but nobody, like, I'm not gonna say nobody, but you don't really talk about the Prime that be like, no, I'm gonna get your butt. Hey, you listen to me. You get these. You do what I say as far as watching film. Get your butt working, and you're gonna grind. You're not just gonna go on the field because you're a flashy guy or you're a name, And I love that real Prime. That's the part that I love about him, because he's not gonna just be like, hey, you can look good and play good and all that stuff like that too, but you better work well as well. So I love that about him. I love that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bacon.
Yeah. Y'all, I mean, I pretty much said it. Yeah, just the ability, like you said, Prime's always coming out with something, man. He talked about his team, kids showing out in class, man. So she says y'all not being dedicated to be NFL superstars. I got to teach y'all how to be men, and every day I get older, every second I get older, man, just preparing a young boy, a young man, is still a young boy, to be honest, to develop into a man. That's worth more than gold, man. That's enough for me. Like, yeah, I'm sending my son to boy to Colorado. Now I bring this up too. I'm see if I can slip something past Niles on this one, because obviously he listens to stuff like I do. Who I listened to that said this? I cannot remember, but definitely from a credible podcast. It might have been Shay Shay and them, or not. Might have been Bubba Dub, if y'all know who Bubba Dub is. There's been some talks, there's some whispers about Deion possibly taking a job in Dallas, going back to the Star. Now, I'm not. I mean, that's the only person who's going to put Jerry in his place, huh?
Oh, you talking about Cowboys?
Dallas, yeah, the NFL Dallas, yeah. That's the only person who could probably put Jerry in his place, or Jerry be like, all right, this is fine, because you know what I'm saying.
That's not gonna work.
Yeah, I don't.
That's not gonna work. I'm telling you now.
I don't know, but I don't know what source, but you know what I'm saying. Bubba Dub, he usually be knowing talking about he tapped in certain type of ways, but
I could see Jerry wanting that, but
yeah,
that I honestly, and I know this is NFL and talking about that, but honestly, I think that's the biggest problem with the Dallas Cowboys. They're just they worry about too much flash. They need to be a little bit more grounded type of team. You know, they're all about the flash. They're all about, you know, this and that. And then, you know, and I get it. In the 90s, there was an incredible team, you know, and there was a dynasty. But ever since then, there always been about, like, you know, they got the biggest stadium and the nicest stadium. They got the billionaire owner who's, you know, doing the freaking draft on a yacht and showing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. Like, they need to be a little bit more grounded and then work their way back to where they were. They don't need to be flashy before they're even good, because I think that's the biggest issue with them. They got all these talent, this and that, and you know, every year I'm just like, damn, they got that talent, they got that player, but they never do nothing with it because they always, you know, CD Lamb, then you got the running backs, and you know what I mean, all the players that, you know, Michael Parsons, and you know, they got all those players, and you're just like, wow, they got so much talent, but like, what have they done with that talent? They haven't done nothing, because they're like a flashy team. So I just think, like, having a Deion, you know, and again, I did say, you know, he does have some great values outside of just the flash, but that team don't need to have any more cameras on them, to be honest. They just need to grind and be a better team now, because right now, just looking at how they're building their team is rough. They just signed a running back that most people probably don't even know. So as we was talking on here, I was looking at it. But we can move on. I know I'm an Eagles fan. I'm gonna be talking crap about the Cowboys all the time, but you know, I just say how I see it. So,
gotcha. All right, Bacon, let's get right for the 3-man weave, man.
Yes, sir. Segueing into one of the best basketball segments known to man and woman, the 3-man weave. Reacted to last night's WNBA draft. I'll see if I can pull up a little something on Twitter here. Caitlin Clark went number 1. I think we all were expecting that to happen. You know, one of the best women's college basketball players ever. Scoring leader, average. She had a trip dub, or near trip dub, average 30 points, assist, double-digit assist. That's the surprise to me last night was definitely Cameron Brink going over Camila Cardoso. But finding out that she's gonna pair with the Bayou Queen. I mean,
Angel
Reese, yeah, for sure. That's like I said, first and foremost, I didn't see that coming. That's gonna be something special, man. Kind of similar to what Denver, I think, has built with Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon. They're gonna be a problem when they kind of get, when they get a point guard, when they get their maybe a little shooting guard, get some shooters around them. They're gonna be a tough team to beat. I don't care if you got Candace Parker. I don't care if you got Asia Wilson. I don't care if you got Kelsey Plum. When you got two pillars like that, that's gonna be tough to beat, man. They're gonna wear you down, man. But what's your thoughts?
I like the fact that they got attitude on that team too. You know, they got a little attitude with what they bringing in. Angel and I forgot the other girl's name, but just being sometimes you just need that. And I'm bringing it back to football and Eagles. I'm sorry, but one of the things that I thought was missing from the Eagles defense was that attitude when we missed out Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And everybody was like, "Oh, he's not that good of a player." Blah blah blah. Sometimes you just need some attitude in your locker room, and just having that, Angel and the other young lady on their team, two girls that obviously they got talent, but they got a little attitude to it too, and it kind of helps. That he's gonna help them, with that their type of defense that they're probably gonna want on that team. So I like it, man. I like it.
No doubt. I think, obviously it solidifies like one of the best classes in 2020 on ESPNW. Obviously with Paige Bookers, you throw in Caitlin Clark, you throw in Camila Cardozo, you throw in Angel Reese, one of the best classes probably ever. What they did for the sport, how they elevated the game. It wasn't obviously just Caitlin. She had a big part in that, but all of them, and hopefully the media coverage continues to be the same. But yeah, pairing Caitlin with pairing Caitlin with Leah Boston.
Leah
right?
Boston, yes, sir.
I think that's going to be kind of intriguing because Leah Boston is a great presence, but I think she's one of the best shooters ever in Caitlin. You know what I'm saying? So like coming off that down screen, right? The defense is going to have to choose, right? Am I picking up Caitlin 35 plus feet, which probably initially you're not going to do, right? But she's going to establish that, and then she's going to start getting double teamed off that, and then she's going to be able to throw it, down and below to Boston. She's going to be able to cook. You know what I'm saying? Or, like them passes that she was throwing down the court so fast, a lot of her teammates couldn't really finish. Some of them could, but a lot of misses more than makes. Right. Now you got, higher level talented players that's going to be able to finish around the rim when she throws the ball. So just her vision paired with her ability and offensively is going to be something to watch. And then her shooting prowess as well. You add that in there and how efficient she scores the basketball. That's going to be a lot of fun, in my opinion. And then, like you said, making the pairing of Camila Cardozo and Angel Reese, right? If Reese can continue, Reese doesn't have to be like a 40-45% shooter from three. I've seen a lot of warm-ups and videos of her shooting from three. If she can, be a more willing shooter, that's going to open up the court a little bit for them too, because it makes it tough because they're both, paint presence. But if Angel can space the floor a little bit, shoot the mid-range jumper, shoot the three-point shot at an efficient clip, and put pressure on the defense, then you have Cardozo down below. Both of them are board monsters, offensively and defensively. Both are great presence defensively with blocking shots. Those two, you basically got your cornerstone players, both of them right there. So then all you got to do is get a couple good guards. You good. You know what I'm saying? And then, so I think that's an interesting pairing. And last but not least, the pairing of Rakea Jackson and obviously Cameron Spink, I think is going to be really, really special as well. It's underrated one, but Rakea can really score the basketball at a high level, 3-level score, get anywhere on the floor. And then you add Spink in there in the paint. These franchises really, really did good, and they got to pick from an awesome class, I think, in my opinion, and some of the top talent. So I think they're going to be well on their way. And my last thing, and I'll throw it back to you, Bacon, is that I'm excited. I know a lot of people were talking about their contracts and the wages they make. I just hope they're able to bring the same kind of aura, the same kind of pull that they had on the college basketball game. I hope they can bring it to WNBA, and they all can help the product and eventually get paid more money and stuff like that.
Like, most definitely, like I said, if y'all remember last week or week before last, I was talking to a lady in the office, who works, I say works in the office, not high up, but she does work for the Dream. She said that the deals from college will carry over to WNBA, so the girls will still make money. I think from what I've been hearing, I've been talking to people who kind of like enjoy women's basketball, but it's got to transition over, right? We got some of the big college stars transitioning over. Seasons around the corner is going to start. The media's going to blow it up, obviously. So will people continue to watch, and will they pay the box office? Will they pay the ticket to come see the Angel Reese's, come see the Kelsey Plum? Will they pay? Obviously, they should pay the ticket to come see Caitlin Clark. I think that's for sure. Will she stay in Indiana? Her and Leah Boston, will they stay in that type of market? I I think so. I think so. I know it's not a big market like New York. You know what I'm saying? Some of her caliber of talent, maybe later on. But Indiana, it is a basketball state, but that remains to be seen. But the focus right now is on the Atlanta Dreams pick Nadia. I can't remember how to say her last name, but she's from Australia. I kind of tapped into her film last night. She's another player, kind of get to wherever she wants on the floor. Maybe not off the dribble as quick, but just from the use of her frame, being 6'1", using every inch. You know what I'm saying? Technically, some moving elbows, moving some little girls out of the way. But definitely talented. From Australia, I kind of read what the pre-draft announcers were, pre and post. A teammate of Mercedes Russell and Leilani Mitchell in the WNBL, 6'3". I'll call it P. I don't know how to say her name. Is at her best transition. The length and the end speed, leaping ability, and are intriguing, but nearly all the fundamental offensive skills need refinement. Post-draft analysis. A 6'3" power forward who runs the floor well. P would need to refinement on the offensive end, but has a big upside. Yeah, definitely. Now I'll edit that there. Just like I said, from watching her film, she can kind of move. But like I said, it's not as smooth and fluid. But from adding this to an already, in my opinion, talented dream team, I think the Dream. Well, they made the playoffs last year, I believe. Yeah, they did. I think they lost to the New York Nightmare, maybe not Nightmare, but they lost to New York last year. Stewie and the other girl, other woman, I should say. But I think probably 2 to 3 years, the Dream will be heavy contenders for a championship. That's in my opinion. If everything goes smoothly, but she is talented.
100%.
Yeah, one more
Great,
girl.
great in-depth analysis by Bacon.
Appreciate that, man. They got one more girl. I didn't look up. It's so I can't remember her name either. But they're both from Australia. I just couldn't bring it up, linking that they're both from Australia. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the Dream is probably by far one of the best organizations because the Falcons. I let the Falcons pan out. They got me on a high horse right now. Raheem Morris coming in. He made a speech to the team. He said, "Listen, fellas, all we got to do is get to the playoffs. Once you get to the playoffs, you don't know what can happen." I said, all right, Rob. I can ride with that. So, but yeah, definitely the Dream. I commend them for drafting 2 players from Australia. The relatability, bringing them to America, you know what I'm saying, on a budding team. I think the Dream was going to be something special this year and moving forward. But Chicago Sky, when you can implement big women or big men into the game with shooters, control the glass. What was it saying? Offense wins games. So offense scores points, defense wins games, and rebounding, my friends, wins championships. Thorough.
I didn't know what was going on with that. So okay, I got you.
It's a little basketball terminology, brother.
There you go. Okay.
Let's see. Moving on. All right. MVP race. The season we're officially in the postseason. Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards, and maybe another one if you want to add it in. But just kind of got what's your thoughts on who's your MVP right now? Who's your MVP front runner?
I go SGA. Getting his team to the 1 seed. What he's able to accomplish. No disrespect to Nikola Jokic or Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards is a hard number 2. I'll put Luka 3. Luka had a really strong finish towards the end of the season. I think he propped himself up more. Probably before that, it's probably a 5, but I think he put himself in the forefront of that conversation. But I think, what OKC's been able to do. Last year, they were an 8-9 seed, barely scrapping to get in the playoffs. And then what they were able to accomplish this year, he's unequivocally their best player. Offense runs through him. Some don't like that he draws the fouls that he draws. They think that he sells it and he embellishes the calls. But I think he's a marquee type of player. And I think it's going to be interesting to see. A lot of people are disrespecting the Thunder as the 1 seed. Then they're going to go out the first round. But I think he's going to have a little something to say about that. Obviously, the matchup will be tough because it's veterans and his guys has been doing it for a long time. But what he's able to do with that OKC group and how good he got them that fast, I think says a lot. So I definitely think SGA is most deserving.
True. I love
Come
it.
on.
I love
Come
it.
on. Come on. Come on now. Yeah, I think he still had an MVP season. I think that he's one of the top runners for it. Definitely the kid from Oklahoma definitely balling, but on a consistent basis, I think Joke got it again. I mean, I'm biased. I'm a Nuggets fan, so I'm a little biased on it. But if it wasn't for one game slip, they would be in the 1 seed right now, and it mainly because of him. So, him and Murray going crazy right now, and I think that they got a strong chance at another run for sure this year.
Nah, it's a fact. Yoke just recently had against Minnesota.
Can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Real quick. I think they're better this year than last year.
Wow, can't. We need context.
Oh, why? Because their depth is better than last year's. Last year, like they had good pieces, and they had I forgot his name that left. Brewer, I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah, Brewer was on the team. He was a big component for us, but we got a lot of young guys that are like stepping up for the team, and the depth that this team got, some of the players that's behind, some of the starters, they're really good. And I think their backers are better this year than last year. So that's why I think that they're better this year than last year.
I can see that. I can agree. I can concur. I'll say just it was impressive. Jokic 41 points against Minnesota. That was kind of like Coach going head to head with Anthony. That was kind of like all right. Let's see what we're going to get here. And Jokic came out with the upper hand there. It's tough. It's tough to go against Shai Gilgeous. Being that still, it's kind of going back and forth, but them holding the number one standing in the West right now. That's definitely something you got to look at. But I'll say
you have to put that in the resume. You have to put that in the resume. You're right.
I'll say top three: Shai, probably Jokic, and then Luka. And then
give him his third, bro. Give him his third. Come on, man.
That'd be tough. But I'm saying the NBA has a history of like, we don't want to give it to the same person. Shaq don't have the MVP. I mean, LeBron came out and talked about he don't have a defensive player of the year. The year he was supposed to get it, gave it to a guy that was all second team. So we'll see. Probably gonna give it to Shai. Him and this, y'all seen him and Chet's little commercial?
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah.
Well, we'll move on to playing. So we're kind of preview the playing. Of course, we got LA versus NOLA right now. The Lakers are up 14-75-61. And then later tonight we have the Warriors versus the Kings. So I'll start with you, Jerome. Just kind of how you feel about those two matchups, and what do you kind of see that's going to be the key for either side or the team that you think is going to prevail? What's going to be the key to get them over the hump?
Definitely, I need those matchups again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, tonight right now we have the Lakers playing the Pelicans. They're up 15-75-61. And it's later tonight. You have the Warriors versus the Kings, who are the little injury, injury. We got a little injury bug right now.
Yeah, I think the Lakers can pull it off. I don't see the Lakers going that far though in the playoffs. I'm gonna give. I think who the Warriors play again? Dang, I just had a
Sacramento Kings.
Kings, yeah. I actually think the Kings might actually win. Beat them out. They got to get healthy again. You don't know what's going on with this guy again. I'm blanking on his name. Their power forward.
Draymond.
Yeah, Draymond. Because isn't he in trouble again?
I think Draymond's playing. I'll check.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, and then Clay's injured, ain't he?
I do not know for sure.
Gotcha.
Let me see. Yes, Clay is out. No. Gary Payton is out. Clay will be in the lineup tonight.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll give it to the Warriors then. I'll give it to the Warriors then. I thought that Clay might not be in, but if Clay's in, I'll give it to the Warriors. But yeah. As far as the Lakers, I don't think the Lakers are gonna go that far. They've been kind of struggling even with LeBron. Bron's is gonna be Bron, but like Bron's still not like peak Bron right now. You can kind of tell like he's starting to get to the end of his career. He's still gonna Bron. He's still better than half the league still, but he's not like that elite Bron that's gonna like take over a game. That's gonna make sure that team is up there. That kind of Bron. But I think the Lakers, and I'm gonna take Lakers and worse.
Nash.
Yeah, I go same. I think, Golden State, this could be the end of the era. And I want to see what they kind of come out with. You know what I'm saying? Everybody will be there healthy, ready to go. And you got a shot at the play-in. How will everybody play? You know what I'm saying? Will Steph do enough tonight, or will it be a one-man band? And you got to think, too, it's a little added incentive with Warriors putting them out last year in the first round. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what kind of happens. And the Lakers are currently up, as you said right now. They're beating the Pelicans pretty good. So they have to match them up against the Nuggets in the playoffs on Saturday, April 20th. So that's interesting as well. They try to get all their pieces back, but that would be a tough matchup for them. They've been pretty good against all other teams, especially Minnesota and OKC, which, their bigs get them problems. But, I would go with those two. And it sets it up real interesting to see who moves on. So, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I say I agree with the Lakers thing. They should come out with the dub for this playing part. I would say this: Zion Wilson is playing this. He's going crazy. 12 for 18, 2 for 3 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 3 turnovers, 2 offensive rebounds, 7 defensive. But I think that's the key to the Lakers' success. Just 7-3 in the last 10. I'll say that. But the key to the Lakers' success is Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has been healthy this year. He's been played over 65 games, if I'm not mistaken. So we have 80 on the court. I think I have been watching this game closely. Obviously, we've been on here, but in order for the Lakers to go far, because they're going to see Denver next round, they got to move the ball, man. It can't be none of that Bron, holding the ball 10 seconds. We need to get that thing down, move that thing around. Only person that should be holding the ball the longest, LeBron at times, and I'll say Anthony Davis. You know what I'm saying? If he's going right, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to beat Denver, man. Jokic had his way last year with Anthony Davis is shooting one leg from 35 and making it all net. Jokic he's on another level. But Anthony Davis is healthy this year, so maybe throw a little Rui at him. I can't even say you can double Jokic because he's a passer. They got shooters on that team. Caldwell Pope has been nylon as of late. So you just gotta play the best ball you can, and hope for the best. I think Darvin Ham is an exceptional coach. At times, I do see some bonehead things, but this is his first full year. So yeah, I say that. And then for the Warriors, Sacramento, I think that's a you can flip a coin with that game. I probably lead towards the Warriors too. They just, what I'm saying, the past couple series, the Warriors have came out with the upper hand. If they're healthy, I think they can edge them out. I just think the bond them playing together for so long, and Steve Kerr, they kind of know how to win. They know how to get in the foxhole, cover up tight, and come out or reload with the ammunition and gun you down. And with the way they shoot the ball, they definitely can gun you down. So I'll take those two. And this is a bonus part, man. How do we feel about Doc Rivers? The team doesn't look so hard right now, man. They were kind of gelling. First of all, I don't know why they kind of brought Doc in. I think they were number 1 in the East or number 2 in the East when they made the coaching transition. That to me is like, you don't do that. Let the coach finish it out, then maybe hiring Doc Rivers. But just, you know what I'm saying. What's your thoughts?
Philadelphia knows, and they knew. As soon as we seen that hire, we was like, yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Good luck with that, buddy. Because he had a lot of good talent when he was with the Sixers and literally did nothing with it. I guess days are over, man. As a elite coach. I think sometimes when you're a coach that has success, you try to emulate that success and you don't try to pivot from it, And when you do that, you got to learn how to adjust. You have to learn how to, adapt to the times. And I think his coaching style it's not there right now. A good example of that is Andy Reid, man, been playing for years, got kicked out of Philly because his system was starting to get stagnant. He went to Kansas City, and you see what he's doing in Kansas City now. He got 2 or 3 Super Bowls, I think it is now. So you gotta adapt to the times, man. You gotta, be able to adjust to new things. You can't be set on, oh, I won a Super Bowl, so I run a championship, so let me try to keep doing the same thing over and over again. No, you gotta adapt to times. You gotta adapt to who's on your team. You gotta be adaptable with your players and who they are as well. So I wasn't a big Doc Rivers fan coming into Philly, and then leaving Philly and went to that team. I was just like, good luck. They had talent there, but still, again, did the same thing with Philly. So, not surprised.
Thanks. So, same question for you, Naj. Just thoughts on Doc, and do you feel like they get a chance to contend for a chance to win the championship?
Yeah, I don't know. Just looking at recent track history, how he was with the Clippers, how he was with obviously Philly, how he was in his previous destinations. He hasn't been really relevant since he was in Boston when he won that 08. He's still kind of milking that a little bit. So when you look at that, he I don't think he resonates as good as his players as he once did. And then, like you said, some outdated coaching metrics as well plays a part. And like you said, there was no point of firing a guy if you were the top 2 seed, 3 seed. Why would you move on mid-season like that? I think they were desperate, and I think they know like this might be the only year they get Damian Lillard, which is why they made a desperate move like that. I think because they know like he might not be liking it, he might not be feeling it. Not necessarily Giannis, but maybe being there in Milwaukee. Because you always wanted to go to, remember now it's Miami. You wanted to go pair up with Jimmy. Bam, so, like that's in the back of their mind. So they made such a drastic move because they wanted, eventually to, be able to contend for a title. And they want to keep Giannis long term, but, Giannis wants to be in contention and be able to win. In the last few years, you got to think about it. Think about this, man. Last thing, and I'll throw it back to you. Milwaukee, right? Last year, you went out in the first round. You were top seed, lost to Miami, right? This year, right? It's not out of the realm of possibility they could lose to Indiana. If they lose first round, Dame's going to want to go. Yeah,
they better not lose to Indiana.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're gonna be in trouble. And Giannis might want out. So it's just like it's a lot of effects there. They got to at least try to make a, conference finals or something. If they want to keep that core together. So I just think it was a backwards move.
Nah, no doubt, man.
You can't just go into a team and just expect like, hey, let's get a new coach and everything's gonna be grand, and it's just gonna be smooth sailing from there. There's a adjustment period from that, man, and it doesn't take a few games. It takes a year sometimes more. So you can't just go in and be like, oh, we're just gonna cut our guy, let our guy go in the middle of the season and expect success right away. That's something that you do as a long-term investment, not like a short-term, we're going to get this going. So I just thought it was a bad idea from the beginning.
Thanks, man. No doubt, man. The Bucks have been overtaken for the 2 seed by the unfavorable Knicks. Even though I do like the Knicks, shout out to Jalen Brunson, man. He's averaging 30 this for the second time, back-to-back seasons. But the Bucks are 3-7 in the last 10. They struggle on the road, 18-22. So it's the train's not out the tracks, but the sparks are coming out of the tracks. So we'll hope. Well, I'm hoping the best for Doc Rivers because it's a lot of industry talk about him. But moving on to our next segment will be with all the Coach Cal commotion. DJ Wagner, among others, has decided to put his name to the transfer portal. I know where he's going, but fellas, where do you think DJ Wagner is going?
Probably Arkansas.
Ding, ding, ding.
To be honest, bro, you're gonna go follow your coach. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that you learn from. So yeah, I think he'll be there, and it just makes sense, right? You had a BYU guy that just transferred to Kentucky. His coach went to Kentucky, so it just makes sense. A lot of players decommitting from Kentucky, and then that's just what it was. The brand was Calipari. Unfortunately, Kentucky was great. They got great facilities, great university, great administration, but it's the same with Bama. It's like, obviously it's going to take the board time. The board's doing a good job, but like he's that Kentucky brand, what I'm saying? So wherever Cal is, those players want to go play for him because they know regardless if he's winning or not, and it's no disrespect, he produces NBA talent. That's just what it is. Whether it's a year, 2 years, he gets you in the position to go to the league. You might not contribute your first year, your second year, but after a while, he say, "Oh, look at my track record. I produced this guy. Oh, he's a potential future Hall of Famer. Produce this guy. Oh, he's a 10-time All-Star." And he has that to go back on. So players want to do that, and they want to achieve their goals. So I think that's what it is with Wagner. He wants to do the same thing, and he's an electric talent, and it makes the most sense.
I want to know if we have any Arkansas fans in the chat, man, because I want y'all to not allow this man over here to be an Arkansas fan. He's not allowed.
I'm definitely allowed, brother.
No, you're not. Not after Wagner's going to go to Arkansas. We just know it. Everybody kind of just like, come on, where else would he go? I think it'd be a good fit for him. Obviously, you got your coach there. They could use somebody like him on the team. One of the bigger names out there. I mean, I know his. I told you I met his dad a couple of times. I got to talk to his dad a couple of times. He's a he's there's a reason why he went to Kentucky, and his dad's a big part of like marketing his son and making sure his son gets all the stuff that he really wasn't able to do, and he had all the experiences he had coming into the league and everything like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's Arkansas at all because his dad's gonna want him to go to the best spot and be with the best coaches. I remember when he was a little jet, and his dad was hyping him up and talking about, man, my kid's gonna be better than me. I'm like, dang, like that's crazy. Like little guy, like he was like 7, like talking about my son's gonna be better than me. So I know how his dad is, and he's gonna want to have him go to the best place and be coached by the best people. So I really wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Arkansas. I'll be I'm very surprised if he didn't go, actually.
Facts. That's true. I think Cal might lose maybe 1 or 2, or who knows, he might get the whole thing. But it's gonna be similar from Cal's transition from Memphis to Kentucky. He brought his kids with him. I can't remember. I think it was Memphis to Kentucky. But Cal's gonna do what he does, man. Shout out to Coach Cal. Shout out to Arkansas basketball program. Woo, Chop Suey, all of that.
You're not allowed. You're not allowed.
I'm allowed, but I'm allowed. Wherever Coach Cal goes, if he coaches in the Big 3, Ice Cube, I need courtside seats. Right next to Coach Cal. We're gonna be like this here. What you think I should do? What you think I should do back in with coaching? You know what I'm saying? If it's me, I think we should run a little high ball screen action, a little pin down, and then just let the guard work out. You know what I'm saying? A little free flow offense.
This is why he's good. This is why he's good at his editing, because he's got that imagination. Like his imagination is crazy. So he's able to edit as good as he is because of that imagination he has.
I like that. Might flip this up. Put you on on record.
Funny dude.
WNBA. We already reacted last night. So yeah.
Serious.
Well, I will say went to the words of wisdom.
Right.
I'll go with first again. Words of wisdom. I'm kind of taking this from Wallow and Gilly, right? Wallow always talks about, man, cuz he goes for, you know what I'm saying, he gonna do what he does, and I'm not trying to do what cuz do. I'm just gonna do what I do. Cuz do his thing, he out in the forefront. I'll be that guy's giving him towel and his water and his you know what I'm saying, his water. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you working with a conglomerate like us, you know what I'm saying, conglomerate manifests in that. Don't try to be Jordan. Unless the team dons, you ask Jordan. But you know what I'm saying, just be a good teammate. You know what I'm saying? Somebody needs something, just try to be there, you know what I'm saying? Because they'll do the same thing for you when you work as a good team. We already know what good teams do. They win games and eventually they win championships. So just be in your role, do what you do best, and serve others. That's my words of wisdom today.
100%. Yeah, mine will be willing to make some sacrifices, man. Me, Bacon, and Naj went to Nashville this weekend, and we sacrificed a lot of sleep, to say the least. We sacrificed a lot of sleep, but if you're gonna want to be where you want to be, there's gonna be times when you have to make those sacrifices. You have to, make those 4 o'clock in the morning trips, and do a 1 day trip somewhere, and grind it out until then almost the next day. We got back at like 11 o'clock at night. So sometimes you just gotta grind it out. Like if you want to be where you want to be, you gotta make that extra step. You gotta do the things that are not comfortable. Be comfortable, be uncomfortable. You gotta do the things that's not comfortable. That's gonna be a little tight for you, or you're gonna have to figure things out and maneuver and things like that. So that's what I'll say. Like, I commend my boys right here. We're all tired right now still. 2 days later, we're all still tired and still recovering. But hey, man, we got some great content. It was a good trip. I think we all got a lot out of it, outside of just, getting content, but, knowledge and, meeting people and, seeing a different scenery, So I thought that it was a great trip. It taught me a lot, and I can't wait to see that documentary that my boy Bacon gonna make soon.
Yes, sir. Should be a movie.
Yeah, I'll be short. Just surround yourself around like-minded people, man. It's team to find people that are in your industry or whatever you decide to do, art, law, whatever it is. Just find like-minded people that you can trust, and just weed out obviously the shady people and go with people that you can really depend on and that's gonna really support you and what you got going on.
Bro.
That one hit different. That one hit different, twin.
Yes, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, John. Go ahead, John. This is
where we're gonna be at. Where we gonna be at this week? We got anything? I know I'm chilling. Nah, we're all chilling this weekend. We're all still.
Let's see.
So I'll tell you the next 2 weeks for me. Next 2 weeks will be OT7. So I'm really trying to take at least another week in between just to kind of recuperate, get some content out, because I know once we get OT7, there's gonna be so much content. It's gonna be, I'm hoping my 2 brothers here come. I know me and LaMarcus is definitely coming, so we're gonna have a lot of content. It's gonna be, a lot of great stuff. We went last year; it was very fun. I think this year is gonna be even crazier with it being such a bigger spectacle now. Now it's gonna be on national TV with the NFL Network posting it now. So I think it's going to be a real fun event. We see how it goes. I look forward to my boys being there, and I look forward to everybody in here watching as well.
Most definitely. I won't be anywhere this weekend per se, but I'm saying I got some person real close to me is having a birthday party, so I'm gonna tap in with them. So
take some personal time, man.
Yeah, man. Then the fight is Saturday. Before we go, I gotta get your prediction: Garcia or Haney?
I'm not a baseball. Baseball. I'm not a boxing guy, so you got me on that one. Sorry.
I'm probably gonna go with Haney. What you got, Naj? I know you be in the fight business.
Yeah, I go with Haney. I think he wins it pretty handily.
I seen Ryan hit the mitts today. It looked like he's kind of throwing that jab and that hook a little more. I think he'll be a little more patient this fight. I still think Haney's gonna outclass him. But if he gets too overconfident, Brian's got that power. Yeah. That hook will come. He will come knock you out, bro. But I think Haney wins. Probably decision. I don't think Ryan will get knocked out this time. If it does, it's gonna be everywhere, and that's not gonna be good for his psyche long term. So I think Hayner's gonna win by decision. So you know what I'm saying? If you I mean that's probably the favorite thing. So I'm not gonna say anything about making any money out of this, because if you're not betting that and you bet in the house on Ryan, watch out. Like Ali said, don't lose your money betting on Sonny. You're gonna lose your money. Bring me my money. But yeah, it's just gonna be chill, laid back this week. My friend's trying to get me to go out Saturday. Not you, Nash. Some friends trying to get me to go out Saturday, but are they gonna be out Friday? I don't know, man, because gotta stay locked in. So probably just have a little fun Friday after I get off of work, man, and go parlay with some family, and get back to it Saturday.
Yeah.
And now I probably gonna go 3SB, bro. And I won't hold you. 3SB. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go EYBL, I think it's gonna be a phenomenal place. But I'm going 3SB just because I just got more connection on 3SB side, about the same distance, and probably less media. So, but yeah, I'm going 3SB.
Okay.
Yeah. Breaking
What
news.
Nah, I don't got no plans, man. I'm just chilling.
Editing.
Yeah, that's about it. Chilling.
I feel you, man. Take some time off, man. You look tired. Just let's see. We're all beat, bro. We just like. So, yeah, man. All right, cool. Wrap us up, Bacon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all tuning in to the viewer update. I know Jerome had like 75. Yeah, okay, brother. You got 91 watch right now on Twitter. I got 79. So quick math, that's 164, right?
Yeah.
See that? So 164. I'm saying we don't know what's on Instagram, what's on WhatsApp, what's on everything else. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're here on time, 7:30. I missed a hell of a show. But this will be on YouTube. You can rewind and watch it back. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. All that.
All right there, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Down there. That's our Instagrams. You can definitely tap in players, drop some film in our DM. We'll definitely check you out. Stay tuned to the content. We're going to have some good things coming up, and we'll be everywhere this summer, so it will be a movie. Make sure your popcorn is set and fresh, ready in the microwave, on the stovetop, whatever you do. I'm Iron Bacon. That's Jerome Jones of Inside the Hashes. That's the legend. You know what I'm saying? The next man up is going to be everywhere. Najee Wilkins, Dominique Wilkins' cousin.
We keep it real.
Yeah.
Thanks,
have a blessed night, everybody. Like Aaron Gray would do. Yeah.